Okay, so we come to the end of Act 2, Scene 1. Iago has persuaded Rodrigo to follow them to Cyprus. And now he starts to talk a little bit more about some of his motivations. Some things are very similar to the soliloquy at the end of Act 1, Scene 3, aren't they? Now, what do we begin with then? That Cassio loves her, I do well believe it. That she loves him, 'tis apt and of great credit. So, he's convinced that Cassio does love her. Sorry, not to follow them. That he's convinced Rodrigo, hasn't he, that Desdemona is transferring her affections to Cassio. Sorry. 'Tis apt and of great credit, meaning, you know, it's likely it could happen. After all, we know that he is framed to make women false, and he is a proper man. Let's just lock that camera in. So already he's disagreeing, with himself. Can't get the right words today. And then he shifts his attention to Othello. The more, howbeit that I endure him not, is of a constant, loving, noble nature. Really positive attributes that he's assigning to Othello. And I dare think he'll prove to Desdemona a most dear husband. And this presents a bit of a problem, doesn't it? How do you get these two? How do you start to divide these two if we know that Desdemona's virtuous and he's admitting that the Moor's going to make her a good husband? Now, I do love her too. Ooh. Not out of absolute lust, though peradventure I stand accountant for as great a sin. First time that we've really seen Iago say anything about kind of sexual desire. And he's saying, look, it's not that I just, I love her, not just because I fancy her, but, I've got to admit that I do. But partly led to diet my revenge. I mean, is it possible to fancy someone just to get revenge on somebody else? It seems a little bit backwards almost. For that I do suspect the lusty Moor hath leapt into my seat. So he's calling him lusty here, whereas he's just called him constant, loving and noble. Is he trying to convince himself? If I say he's lusty, then he is. He suspects that the lusty Moor hath leapt into my seat. Well, let's just have a little look then at our notes in the Arden. Of certain beasts to spring upon the female in copulation. And leaping houses was another name for brothels. So the seat is his sexual seat. Now this is a little bit different from hath done my office. Now there's something much more sexually charged going on in the imagery. And also, it's more animalistic, isn't it, when thinking about Othello? This takes us back to the old black ram and making the beast with two backs. The thought whereof doth like a poisonous mineral gnaw my innards. We might have experienced that before, something that's getting to us so much that we kind of feel it physically, we feel it in our stomachs. It's really, really getting to us. A poisonous mineral. And nothing can or shall content my soul till I am evened with him, wife for wife. So, if he, Iago, has sex with Desdemona, they'll be even. But look what comes straight after. Failing. From one thought to the next, from the thought of having sex with Desdemona, then we move to him considering failure. We've talked about Iago's kind of weird views about sex. Is this speaking to perhaps impotence, that he knows that he will fail at this? Or is he just saying he'll fail at that, at the plan? He wouldn't be able to seduce her, or having seduced her, would he not be able to physically perform? So if that's not going to work, then he will put the Moor, at least, into a jealousy so strong that judgment cannot cure. So this reasonable, noble, intelligent man, his judgment will be completely taken away from him. Which thing to do if this poor trash of Venice, who is Rodrigo, whom I trash for his quick hunting, stand the putting on, if I can like troll and rein in Rodrigo a little bit, if I can get him to act when I tell him to, I'll have our Michael Cassio on the hip. So he'll put him at a disadvantage. Disadvantage. Told you I needed that cup of tea. Disadvantage. Abuse him to the more in the rank garb. For I fear Cassio with my nightcap too. Oh, is there anyone he thinks hasn't slept with Amelia? So he's going to represent him to Othello as, I guess in your modern parlance, I don't know, being a bit of a player, lecherous, lusty, not to be trusted around women. I'll make them all thank me, love me, and reward me. thank, love, and reward for making him egregiously an ass, and practicing upon his peace and quiet even to madness. He's going to make Othello go mad. "'Tis here," and I've seen a lot of actors at that point kind of tap their heads, like the idea is here, but yet confused. I haven't quite worked out the details yet. "'Tis here, but yet confused. Knavery's plain face is never seen till used." Like, he might have to do some thinking on the spot. The plan might not reveal itself fully until he's like in the moment. It's one of the things that we know is that Iago is an opportunist. So he's starting to develop his plan a bit more, and now it involves making Othello go mad.